They told you nuts are healthy, but here is the shocking truth that no one dares to say out loud. After you reach the age of 60, some of the most popular nuts, perhaps sitting in your kitchen right now, may be slowly killing your erections, raising your blood pressure, clouding your memory, and silently damaging your kidneys. And what is worse, most seniors eat them every single day, thinking they are doing something good for their bodies. What if I told you there are 4 specific nuts that support circulation, boost brain function, balance blood sugar, and even help you sleep better? And yet, almost no one over 60 is eating them regularly. At the same time, there are 4 others that are marketed as healthy, but are quietly causing inflammation, disrupting your medications, and putting your heart at risk. You deserve to know the difference. In this video, we will walk through all 8, the 4 you must choose every day, and the 4 you should never eat again. This is clear, science-based information tailored specifically for your body after 60. If this message speaks to you and you are ready to reclaim your energy and vitality, make sure to hit that like button right now. And press the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another health lesson designed specifically for seniors like you. Let us begin with the 4 powerful nuts you should be eating every single day. These are not just snacks. They are natural medicine for your heart, your brain, your energy, and yes, even your performance in the bedroom. First, we discuss Brazil nuts, your thyroid and testosterone booster. I recall one of my patients, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. Let us call him Jack. He came to my office exhausted, mentally foggy, and frustrated with his low energy and lagging performance. He had tried everything, powders, pills, and various diets, but nothing seemed to restore that spark he once had. When we ran a full lab panel, the findings did not surprise me. Jack was severely low in selenium. This is a trace mineral that most men over the age of 60 do not even think about, but one that plays a massive role in how we feel, think, and function. I told Jack to do something simple. Eat 1 Brazil nut a day. Just 1. 3 weeks later, he returned. His face was different, his eyes were sharper, and he said, "Doc, I feel alive again." That is the power of Brazil nuts. This remarkable nut is the richest natural source of selenium on the planet. Just a single nut provides over 130% of your daily requirement. Unlike synthetic supplements, the selenium in Brazil nuts is bound to organic compounds, making it easier for your aging body to absorb and use. Selenium is critical for activating thyroid hormones, which regulate everything from your metabolism and energy levels to your mood and memory. As we age, thyroid function tends to slow, leading to fatigue and weight gain. Furthermore, selenium is essential for testosterone production. Low testosterone does not just affect libido, it affects your strength, your sleep, your motivation, and your ability to stay mentally sharp. The fats in Brazil nuts also help maintain your myelin sheath, the insulation around your nerves that keeps your reflexes sharp. I always caution my patients, however, that more is not better. Too much selenium can be toxic over time. That is why I recommend no more than 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day. Keep them in the refrigerator, ideally still in the shell, and chew thoroughly. There is something incredibly comforting about almonds. They are one of the most overlooked yet powerful allies in senior health. They are a daily defense system for 2 of the most vulnerable parts of the aging body: your bones and your brain. Let us start with your bones. After age 60, and especially beyond 65, your bone density begins to decline rapidly. Falls become more dangerous, and fractures heal slower. Almonds are rich in calcium, with nearly 100 milligrams in just a quarter cup serving. But what truly makes them stand out is their magnesium content. Magnesium acts like a traffic controller. It helps move calcium into your bones where it belongs, instead of letting it clog your arteries. That combination of calcium and magnesium is rare in one food, but almonds deliver both. Now, let us talk about your brain. Many patients fear memory loss more than heart disease. Conditions like Alzheimer's, dementia, and brain fog do not just steal your thoughts, they take your independence. But almonds contain powerful antioxidants, especially when you eat them with the skin on. The flavonoids in that thin brown skin work in harmony with vitamin E to neutralize the oxidative stress that damages brain cells as we age. In fact, studies from Tufts University show that almonds may even slow the progression of cognitive decline when eaten consistently. Furthermore, almonds are loaded with fiber, around 3.5 grams per serving. This helps combat constipation, a struggle that nearly half of seniors quietly deal with every day. I often recommend 15 to 20 almonds a day, raw or dry, roasted, unsalted, and always chewed well. There is a nut that looks just like your brain and might just be the best natural food we have for preventing memory loss and improving blood flow. Let us talk about walnuts. Walnuts are extraordinary. They are one of the most potent brain-supporting foods nature offers. Structurally, yes, they resemble the brain, but chemically, they do something even more profound. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. This is a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that helps build and maintain the membranes of brain cells. As we age, these membranes lose flexibility and communication between neurons slows down. Memory becomes fuzzy, but ALA helps keep those connections strong. That is just the beginning. Walnuts are loaded with polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants that cross the blood-brain barrier. They directly reduce inflammation in neural tissue. This matters because inflammation is a silent killer of memory, focus, and cognition, and it is one of the key drivers of dementia and Alzheimer's. One study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that seniors who ate just 1.5 ounces of walnuts per day for 8 weeks saw measurable improvements in processing speed and mental flexibility. But here is something most people do not know. Walnuts also contain natural melatonin, the hormone your body produces to regulate sleep. As we grow older, our melatonin levels decline, leading to restless nights. For many of my older patients, simply adding a small handful of walnuts in the evening helps them fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more restored. I usually recommend eating 7 to 9 walnut halves per day. Keep them refrigerated to protect their delicate oils, which can spoil if exposed to heat or light. The final nut you must choose is the pistachio, a defense for blood pressure, vision, and diabetes. Pistachios are without question one of the most underrated superfoods for seniors. For starters, they are one of the most potassium-rich nuts out there, clocking in at around 285 milligrams per serving. That is more than many fruits and vegetables. Potassium is critical for maintaining healthy blood pressure, especially after 60, when arterial stiffness and salt sensitivity tend to increase. For older adults trying to manage hypertension naturally, pistachios are a smart, safe ally. They are also rich in 2 powerful carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These compounds play a vital role in eye health. They accumulate in the retina and help filter out harmful blue light, slowing the progression of age-related macular degeneration. Perhaps most importantly, pistachios are surprisingly helpful for blood sugar regulation. With about 3 grams of fiber per ounce and a naturally low glycemic index, they help slow digestion, reduce post-meal sugar spikes, and keep insulin levels stable. For the millions of seniors dealing with diabetes or pre-diabetes, this can quietly make a real difference. There is also a behavioral benefit. When you eat pistachios in the shell, the act of shelling them slows down your pace. This gives your body more time to register fullness, making it easier to avoid overeating. I typically recommend about 1 ounce per day, which is roughly 49 pistachios. Unsalted or lightly salted varieties are best. While those 4 nuts can elevate your health, there are others that can quietly tear it down. These are nuts that look innocent, even healthy, but are actually triggering inflammation and contributing to brain fog. The first nut to avoid is peanuts, the inflammation time bomb. I will never forget when George, a 72-year-old Vietnam vet, came into my office. His joints ached, he was tired, and his blood pressure had crept up. He snacked on peanuts almost every day, thinking they were healthy. The truth is, peanuts are not really nuts. They are legumes, grown underground. That one detail makes a world of difference. Because of the way they grow, peanuts are highly susceptible to mold, and specifically to a toxin called aflatoxin. This mold is invisible and tasteless, but over time it can build up in the body, harming the liver, weakening the immune system, and even raising the risk of certain cancers. Seniors, whose detox systems naturally slow with age, are especially vulnerable. But that is not the only concern. Even without an allergy, peanuts can trigger subtle chronic inflammation that affects the joints, the heart, and even the brain. This contributes to arthritis flare-ups and mental fog. Then there is the salt. Most commercial peanuts are roasted and salted excessively. For seniors managing high blood pressure, which is more than 60% of adults over 65, this added sodium only worsens the problem. Even natural peanut butter is not off the hook. Peanuts have a high omega-6 fatty acid content, which can throw off the delicate balance of omega-3 to omega-6 in your body, a key factor in controlling inflammation. The second nut to avoid is the cashew. Cashews are tricky. They wear the costume of a healthy snack. But underneath the surface, cashews carry risks that most seniors rarely hear about. First, let us talk about blood sugar. Cashews have a relatively high carbohydrate content for a nut, about 9 grams per ounce, and a notable glycemic effect. That means they can cause your blood sugar to spike more quickly than you would expect. For the 25% of seniors already diagnosed with diabetes and the 48% who are pre-diabetic, those little spikes add up. The damage is often silent, showing up later as fatigue or brain fog. Cashews are also loaded with something called oxalates. These are naturally occurring compounds that bind with calcium in your gut, making it harder for your body to absorb this essential mineral. For older adults already at higher risk for osteoporosis, this becomes a problem. Worse, oxalates can accumulate in the body and contribute to the formation of kidney stones, a painful condition that becomes more common and more dangerous with age. There is another risk: choking. Cashews are smooth, curved, and surprisingly easy to aspirate, especially for older adults with swallowing difficulties. Finally, most people do not realize that cashews in their raw state are toxic. They contain urushiol, the same chemical found in poison ivy. To make them safe, they have to be heavily processed, steamed, and cooked, and in that process, many of their natural nutrients are lost. The third nut to avoid is the macadamia nut. These nuts are luxurious. Their rich, buttery taste makes them feel like the perfect healthy treat. But what most people do not realize, especially as we get older, is that macadamias pack an enormous amount of fat and calories into every single bite. Just 1 ounce, which is barely a handful, contains nearly 200 calories and 22 grams of fat. For someone over 60 whose metabolism has naturally slowed and who may be less physically active, that adds up fast. You are taking in the calorie load of a full mini meal without even feeling full. That is what I call silent weight gain. But it is not just about weight. Macadamias are also one of the highest in saturated fat among all nuts, about 3 grams per ounce. That is the kind of fat that can raise LDL cholesterol and place more strain on an aging heart. Then there is the issue of the gallbladder. Many older adults develop gallstones and do not even know it. Macadamia nuts, due to their extremely high fat content, can trigger these stones to move, causing painful attacks that can result in emergency visits or even surgery. And let us not forget oral health. Macadamia nuts are dense and hard. For seniors with bridges, crowns, or sensitive teeth, chewing them can be risky, resulting in expensive and painful dental visits. The final nut on our list to avoid is the pine nut. It is tiny, oily, and often slips under the radar, but it can interfere with medications and trigger strange taste disturbances. I had a patient named Ruth, 74, who came to my office with a strange concern. "Dr. Carrara," she said, "everything tastes metallic. Even water tastes off." It turned out she had recently added a homemade pesto rich with pine nuts to her diet. She was experiencing what is known as pine mouth, a bitter, metallic taste distortion that can last for days or even weeks. This is not dangerous in itself, but here is the hidden issue. When food and water suddenly taste unpleasant, many seniors unconsciously eat and drink less. For someone already at risk of unintentional weight loss or dehydration, this seemingly minor side effect can lead to serious consequences like frailty or nutrient deficiencies. But pine nuts do not stop there. One of the biggest concerns is their potential to interfere with common medications. Pine nuts contain specific compounds that can alter how drugs are metabolized in the liver. This includes medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, and mood, three of the most commonly prescribed drug classes for older adults. The risk is reduced effectiveness or unexpected side effects. Finally, pine nuts are high in polyunsaturated fats that are delicate and prone to oxidation. If they have been stored improperly, these fats can actually promote inflammation instead of reducing it. For all of these reasons, I urge seniors to avoid pine nuts altogether. When I reflect on all the years I have spent sitting across from men and women in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, I have come to realize something powerful. Aging does not break us down. It is the little habits, done repeatedly over time, that either build us up or quietly wear us down. Food is often at the center of that story. Today we talked about 8 nuts. 4 that I truly believe every senior should eat daily: Brazil nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios. Not because they are trendy, but because they work. They support your thyroid, strengthen your bones, improve your sleep, and protect your heart. Then we looked at 4 others: peanuts, cashews, macadamia nuts, and pine nuts. These are quietly doing the opposite, causing inflammation, spiking blood sugar, and disrupting medication. After 60, your body changes. What once gave you energy might now leave you sluggish. But you are not broken. You are not too old. Your health is not a lost cause. The body you wake up in today is still listening. It still responds, sometimes in incredible ways, to the small, consistent choices you make. I have seen it in the man who swapped peanuts for pistachios and lowered his blood pressure without a single new medication. In the woman who ate 1 Brazil nut a day and finally felt her energy return. In the couple who snacked on walnuts and slept through the night for the first time in months. These are not miracles, they are biology. So, as you walk into your kitchen tomorrow, pause. Think back to what you have learned here. Choose wisely. You do not need to be perfect, but choose one thing and keep choosing it. This is not just about cholesterol numbers. It is about waking up, feeling steady on your feet, remembering names, and having the energy to walk, to laugh, and to hold hands a little longer. You are not too old to feel strong again. Start with the nuts. Let that be your first signal to your body and to yourself that you are ready to thrive again.